Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello everyone. We are from Tutorial 2 Group 1. We'll present a discussion question and also study case about chapter 6, which is planning and goal setting. My name is Nur Afrina binti Muhammad Shazri, and I'm going to discuss about question 1, which is why are formal plans generated? So actually, formal plans are generated because they help organization work in a more organized and effective way. So firstly, formal planning can provide clear direction because it helps managers and employees understand their organization goals and what is expected from them. So when everyone knows where the organization is heading, they can focus their effort in the same direction. So secondly, formal plans also helps coordinate effort. Why I say this? Because with a clear plan, different department and individuals can work together instead of working separately or against each other. So this will eventually improve teamwork and cooperation within the organization. So for the third, formal planning indeed reduce uncertainty because by planning ahead, managers can anticipate changes in the environment such as market or technological changes and prepare suitable responses. So this helps the organization adapt better to change. So let's move on to another reason. So next, formal plans also reduce waste and overlapping activities. It is because when tasks and responsibilities are clearly planned, it prevents duplication of work and also unnecessary use of resources. And this will make the organization more efficient. And also finally, formal planning also can set standard for control. Because plan can create clear goals and performance standard, so which allow managers to measure result and take corrective action if the organization is not meeting its objective. So in conclusion, formal plans are generated to ensure that organization stay focused, efficient, and prepared for future challenges. So this is all. Answer for question 1.
Hi, I'm Puchinar Atika binti Ridwan. I'm going to talk about question 6.2, discuss why planning is beneficial. Firstly, planning provides guidance and coordinated effort. Both managers and non-managerial staff receive guidance from planning. Members of an organization may plan their actions when they are aware of the objectives and the contributions that are expected of them. This encourages collaboration and teamwork. Without planning, work units may compete with one another, which makes it challenging for the company to effectively achieve its goals. Secondly, lowers uncertainty. Planning helps lower uncertainty by making managers look ahead, anticipate change, and weigh its effects. It makes the effects of possible actions clear and enables managers to create suitable reactions to future developments. This proactive approach is essential, particularly in circumstances that are dynamic and constantly changing. Thirdly, lessen wasteful and overlapping activities. It is likely to reveal waste, duplication, and inefficiency if tasks and efforts are coordinated beforehand. Any inefficiencies in the process become much more apparent and may be removed when the methods and goals are well defined by planning, resulting in a more efficient and successful operation. And lastly, planning creates standards and objectives to facilitate control. Planning creates the objectives or benchmarks that work activities may be evaluated against. When managers plan, they create objectives and strategies to reach them. The next step in the management function of controlling is to evaluate if the plans have been implemented and the objectives have been reached. It is challenging to take suitable corrective measures when required without planning, as there are no standards or benchmarks to compare or evaluate work efforts.
Hi and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Christian Lia, and I'm going to answer question 6.3. So the question asks to describe strategic management process. So the six-step strategic management process are: the first one is identify the organization's current missions, goals, and strategies. Managers identify the organization's missions, goals, and existing strategies to understand its purpose and current directions. So this helps managers decide whether the current strategies need improvement. The second one is do an external analysis. Managers analyze the external environment to identify opportunities that can be exploited. and traits that may negatively affect the organization. Next is do an internal analysis. Managers evaluate internal resources and capabilities to identify strengths in the organization does well and weaknesses that need improvement. Both step 2 and 3 are combined into SWOT analysis. SWOT helps managers to use organizational strengths, reduce weaknesses, and minimize threats. It serves as a basis for effective strategy formulation. The fourth step is formulate strategies. Managers develop appropriate strategies based on SWOT analysis. Strategies are formulated at three levels, which are corporate strategy, competitive strategy, and functional strategy. Corporate strategy is decisions about the businesses the organization operates, while competitive strategy means how the organization competes in the market. And functional strategy is strategies that support overall plans at department levels. Next is implement strategies. So in this step, managers put strategies into action. This involves allocating resources, coordinating departments, and motivating employees. Even well-planning strategies can fail if implementation is poor. Last but not least is evaluate result, where managers evaluate performance and make sure improvements to ensure strategies achieve organizational goals.
Hello everyone, my name is Nur Faifa Ijra binti Abdul Razak, ID number 25004052. I'm going to answer the question, how would SWOT analysis strengthen the strategic management process externally and internally? So, we're going to examine a foundational tool in business strategy, the SWOT analysis. It's often seen as a simple four-box matrix, but its role is far more critical. The SWOT analysis is, in fact, the essential bridge that transforms raw organizational data into actionable long-term strategy. As you know, the strategic management process is a six-step cycle. The SWOT analysis is the systematic integration of the result from the analytical phase, specifically the internal analysis and the external analysis, which provides the essential actionable foundation for strategy formulation. Step 4. By dividing this organization situation into four clear categories, SWOT provides the diagnosis needed before we can prescribe a treatment. Let's first look inward. The internal component of SWOT strengthens the process by focusing on factors that are within the organization's direct control, our strengths and our weaknesses. These fields link directly to our current mission and goals. Step 1. S. Strengthen. When we identify core competency like proprietary technology or a strong balance sheet, this SWOT analysis ensures our formulated strategies that for are built to capitalize and maximize these assets. This prevents us from wasting resources on strategies we can sustain. W. Weakness. Conversely, recognizing the internal limitations like high employee turnover or outdated technology, it forces management to prioritize and develop strategies aimed at minimizing or correcting these drawbacks. It ensures our resources are focused on eliminating internal roadblocks. In essence, the internal analysis provides a realistic assessment of organization capability, ensuring our strategies are achievable and grounded in our true capacity. Next, we look outward. The external component focuses on factors outside the organization control and our opportunities or and threats. This aligns with the external analysis. Step 2. O. Opportunities. Pinpointing favorable external conditions such as new underserved markets or technological trends allows us to formulate proactive strategies to seize these growth avenues. This prevents the firm on missing significant market shift. D. Threats. Recognizing unfavorable external factors like new disruptive competitors or an economic recessions prompts managers to develop defensive strategies to mitigate, avoid, or defend against potential harm. This increases the organization's resilience. The external analysis ensure our strategies are relevant and adaptive to the market landscape, preventing us from operating in a vacuum or being caught off guard by our environmental change.
Hi everyone, I'm Aida Farhana and today I will be answering question 5. Organizations that fail to plan are planning to fail. I strongly agree with this statement. Firstly, planning gives organizations clear goals and direction. When everyone knows what the organization is trying to achieve, it is easier to work together towards the same objectives. Without planning, decisions become reactive instead of strategic. Managers respond to problems as they happen rather than thinking ahead. Planning also helps coordinate efforts across teams and departments. This reduces conflict and prevents people from working against each other. When employees understand what they need to do and why it matters, it improves focus, motivation, and teamwork. Planning also reduces uncertainty. By preparing for future changes, managers can anticipate risks and respond more effectively. Resources like time, money, and manpower are also used more efficiently. Planning helps avoid overlapping work, waste, and unnecessary costs. Clear plans make it easier to track performance and maintain control. Goals as standards to measure progress and fix problems when they arise. Finally, plans can be adjusted when conditions change. Planning provides flexibility and allows organizations to adapt rather than follow rigid rules.
Hi, my name is Aman Noval, and now I will be talking about case application 1 summary. Primark takes on Burberry and Alexander McQueen. So in this case, it talks about how Primark disrupt the fashion industry and compete with luxury brands like Burberry by doing the exact opposite, which is spend zero on advertising and refuses to sell online to keep the price rock bottom. So the first point is value proposition. Primark competes directly with high-end designer labels by offering fast fashion clothing at significantly lower value-based price. Next, rapid expansion. Starting as Penny's in Dublin in 1969, the brand has aggressively expanded across Europe and into the US, boasting nearly 300 stores. Next, employee centricity. The company is a highly sought-after employer, offering competitive salary structures and encouraging staff to set personal goals to drive the business forward. Next, specialized training. Management focuses on developing talent through a dedicated training program, specifically teaching graduates how to source products globally. Moreover, strategic e-commerce avoidance. Unlike most competitors, Primark deliberately bypasses online sales because shipping costs would erode the profit margins on their low-priced items. Next, unconventional marketing. The company spends zero money on advertising, relying instead on public relations, word of mouth, and prime store locations to drive footfall. Next, ethical pivot. Following criticism regarding its Asian factories, Primark has actively acquired ethical trading status and works to improve labor standards in its supply chain. Next, sustainability efforts. The retailer is modernizing its environmental impact, including initiatives like replacing plastic carry bags with paper alternatives. Next, visual merchandising strategy. Recognizing that purchasing decisions happen in seconds, Primark invests heavily in shop fittings and visual displays to instantly hook consumers. Last but not least, cost leadership. The core of their planning strategy is maintaining the ability to offer the lowest possible prices while operating within an ethical framework.
Now I'm going to talk about question 6.11, discuss Primark's decision to bypass e-commerce. Firstly is the financial justification. The expense of establishing and maintaining an e-commerce platform in comparison to the money made from its incredibly cheap item is the main and most important aspect. There's low margin and high volume. Offering products that start at $4 is the foundation of Primark's business. This indicates an extremely narrow profit margin per item. There's also required sales scale according to the tax and e-commerce operations enormous number of sales will be required to offset the setup costs. For example, the website creation, warehousing, fulfillment, shipping, and returns processing, etc. Given the extremely low pricing approach, the financial modeling made it abundantly evident that the number of online sales needed to cover the significant administrative expenditures was not feasible nor financially sustainable. Secondly, compliance to core business strategy. The whole planning process of Primark is focused on the ability to offer fast fashion products at the lowest possible price. Absence of advertising, the company's choice to forego advertising further demonstrates its dedication to drastic cost cutting. Their financial approach would be squarely at odds with the substantial digital advertising and marketing costs required to operate an e-commerce site. Next, pay attention to the store experience. Primark focused their strategy and investment on the in-person shopping experience by issuing e-commerce. This comprises of key store, strategic positioning, layout, visual merchandising, and shop fittings. This emphasis makes sure that the discovery of 70% of a customer's decisions are made in 3 seconds at the point of sale, making sure the physical setting is immediately alluring to entice customers. Thirdly, taking advantage of physical presence and impulsive purchase. Primark's distinctive product line, fast moving, trend driven, and extremely affordable, is best utilized in a physical setting, encouraging impulsive purchases. There's this treasure hunt experience. Primark's absence of an online catalog turns a trip there into a treasure hunt, transiting buyers to return often to view the newest styles, which increase in-store sales. There's also elevated basket value. A low price shop must use this tactic since once a buyer enters the store, they are more likely to purchase several inexpensive things, raising the overall transaction value. And lastly, limited involvement of third parties. Primark makes a little strategic concession to the digital world by dealing with online retailers such as eBay, Amazon, and ASOS, but not running its own website. Because of this, Primark is able to measure demand and make some online sales without having to deal with the enormous financial and logistical strain of running and maintaining its own extensive e-commerce supply chain.
Hi and good afternoon again, everyone. Now I'm going to talk about the differences of Primark's marketing from that of other retailers. So, for advertising, Primark does not advertise through TV, social media, or paid online ads. Primark relies on word of mouth, public relations, and store visibility. Primark save marketing costs to keep prices extremely low, while other retailers they spend heavily on advertising, influencer marketing, and digital campaigns. For online presence, Primark has no e-commerce website, focuses entirely on in-store shopping experiences, while other retailers use strong online stores and apps such as online sales, flash sales, and delivery services. Primark competes using cost leadership at very low prices, rather than other retailers that use premium pricing, such as luxury brands or mid-range pricing. For store layout and visual merchandising, Primark focus on eye-catching store layouts, emphasis impulse buying, which customer will decide within seconds, rather than other retailers rely more on branding and online visual store experience support brand's image rather than volume sales. And the last one, for brand positioning, Primark positions itself as fashionable but affordable. Its targets also price-sensitive customers, while other retailers, such as luxury brands, focus on exclusivity and status. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Miftah Fatiha and I will answer question number 16. So the question is, provide examples of fast fashion chains in your country and how would they cope with competition from an expanding retailer like Primark? So here are 3 examples of fast fashion chains in my country, which are H&M, Cotton On, and also Uniqlo. H&M is a well-known global fast fashion retailer offering trending clothing at affordable prices, while Cotton On is an Australian brand that offers casual, trending, and also affordable clothing that popular especially among youth and young adults. Lastly, Uniqlo. Uniqlo is slightly different from a typical fast fashion and more toward essential basics. Next, how would they cope with competition from an expanding retailer like Prima? So, firstly, embrace online and digital interaction. For example, e-commerce and in-store experience. As for the in-store experience, the company can transform physical stores into experience hubs for social shopping, inspiration, and also brand loyalty. Secondly, innovate on product and value. For example, the company can offer a high quality basics with tech fabrics. Lastly, strategic pricing and also promotion. For instance, the company can make a loyalty program. By then, they will have like a customer that will always come back to buy their product.
For question 614, we are asked to identify the types of planning and goal setting described in the Primark case and explain how they help the company's future. First, let's look at the type of planning Primark use. So first, for strategic planning, this is their big picture. Long-term planning, Primark sets clear goals for geographic expansion, like entering the US market in 2015 and for growing their physical footprint, aiming for more stores and more retail space. This is the roadmap that makes them one of Europe's fastest growing chain. Next, the operational planning. This is how the day-to-day planning that makes their strategy possible. Primark plan meticulously to keep costs extremely low. This includes global sourcing, but also a very strategic decision to bypass e-commerce because with items starting at just $4, the setup cost wouldn't make sense. Their planning focuses on the in-store experience layout, visual merchandising to hook customers in the crucial 3 seconds at the point of sale. Next is the ethical and social responsibility planning. After past criticism, Primark didn't just react, they set formal goals. They joined the Ethical Trading Initiative, set target to improve wages and condition in their supply chains, and plan to switch to paper bags. This is proactive planning to manage their reputation and align with modern values. Next, it is human resource planning. Primark plan for talent. They encourage employees to set personal goals, run sought-after training program like the management training program, and plan to hire the brightest individual. This isn't accidental. It is a plan to build a strong, motivated workforce. And lastly, the marketing planning. Their marketing plan is deliberately unconventional. While others spend on ads and online campaign, Primark's plan is based on zero advertising. They rely on word of mouth, public relation, and strategic store location. This is a calculated planning choice that differentiate them and save immense costs. Now, how does this planning help Primark's future? First, it ensures control and sustainable expansion. Their strategic geographic goals prevent half-asset growth. Next, it protects their core business model. By avoiding costly e-commerce and advertising, their operational planning safeguard the low cost structure that allows for ultra-low prices. Next, it features proof their brand. Ethical planning builds long-term consumer trust and protects against scandals, which is crucial for global retailers. Next, it builds organizational strength. HR training creates a pipeline of skilled, loyal managers who can lead future stores and regions. Finally, it creates a unique market position. Their combined planning result in a distinct identity, a fast fashion giant that is ethical, in-store focused, and incredibly cost efficient. This clear identity is the strongest tool for facing future competition.
So now I will be talking about case application 2 summary, Tesco from a grocery store to an empire. In this case, it highlights how Tesco went from a single store to a global empire. It signifies the importance of strategy, whereby how over-ambitious expansion nearly destroyed them and a back-to-basic plan strives them. To start, humble beginnings to giant. Founded in 1919 as a simple store, Tesco has grown into a multinational giant with over 3,400 stores and revenue exceeding £55 billion. Secondly, aggressive acquisition. A key part of Tesco's growth strategy has been buying out competitors. such as the massive purchase of 850 trust and safety convenience stores. Third, data-driven customization. Tesco uses a rigorous intelligence system to analyze customer data, allowing them to tailor product offerings to specific demographics effectively. Next, broad product segmentation. The retailer captures the whole market by offering tiered product lines under one roof, ranging from value items for the budget conscious to finance for premium shoppers. Next, business diversification. Beyond groceries, Tesco has successfully expanded into varied sectors, including petrol stations, banking, electronics, and early adoption of e-commerce. Next, strategic overreach. In 2014, the company suffered a historic loss, blamed on overambitious international expansion that distracted them from their core local market. Next, competitive pressure. The rise of low-cost discount chains like Aldi and Lidl put severe pressure on Tesco, forcing them to reevaluate their pricing and strategy. Next, restructuring and recovery. To survive, Tesco implemented cost-cutting measures, mass layoffs, and sold off underperforming sectors to refocus the business. Next, renewed profitability. The turnaround strategy worked. By improving customer service and pricing, the company returned to significant profit growth by 2018. And lastly, wholesale expansion. Solidifying its recovery, Tesco recently acquired the Booker Group, the UK's largest food wholesaler, to further increase its market dominance.
Hi everyone, I'm Nailina and I will be presenting case application 2 which focuses on Tesco from a grocery store to an empire. So this presentation answers question 6-15 which asks whether it pays to plan and which parts of the strategic management process are illustrated in this case. So, based on what we have read, yes, it clearly pays to plan. Tesco's success did not happen by chance. Through long-term and careful planning, Tesco grew from a single grocery stall into a multinational company. Planning allowed Tesco to expand aggressively through acquisitions, use data analytics to customize products and improve customer experience, and diversify into banking, petrol, electronics, and e-commerce. Even when Tesco faced major losses, planning helped the company restructure, refocus, and return to profitability. This shows that planning helps businesses remain competitive, adapt to change, and sustain long-term success. This case also clearly illustrates the strategic management process. First, we have environmental scanning. Environmental scanning is where Tesco analyzed the market, customers, and competitors to identify opportunities and challenges. Second, we have strategy formulation, where Tesco decided its goals and direction, including expansion, diversification, and product segmentation. Third is strategic implementation, where Tesco carried out these plans by acquiring other businesses, managing resources effectively, and improving operations. Finally, a strategic evaluation can be seen when Tesco reviewed its performance, identified weaknesses after losses, and made improvements to regain profitability. So, in conclusion, case application 2 clearly demonstrates that planning pays off and that all stages of the strategic management process played an important role in achieving long-term business success. That is all from me. Thank you.
So for question 616, the question is, based on what you have read in the chapter, which strategic weapons is Tesco relying on here? Firstly, I would say cost leadership. Cost leadership, which means low cost strategy. These methods help attract price-sensitive customers and also help Tesco to protect its large market share in highly competitive grocery industry. Secondly, data analytics and business intelligence. Tesco uses an intelligence system to understand customer needs and also choose the best store location. This data also allow Tesco to make smarter decisions, reduce risk, and tailor offerings more effectively than competitors. Next, market segmentation and product differentiation. Tesco offers multiple product range under one roof. This allows Tesco to serve different income groups simultaneously and also increasing the customer reach and loyalty. Lastly, e-commerce and online pricing. Tesco launched an e-commerce website in 2000 and serving over 500,000 online customers weekly. This method provides a convenience and also create a competitive advantage over retailers with weaker digital performance.
Now we move on to question 17. So the question asks, do you believe gathering information is important for Tesco to win markets? Why or why not? Okay, so in my opinion, yes, I do believe that gathering information is important for Tesco to win markets. Why? Because it helps Tesco to plan effectively using that information. As we know, Tesco operates in a highly competitive retail environment. Thus, planning without current and accurate information would lower the ability for them to grow. Now I will explain further why Tesco need to gather information to win the markets. So first of all, it helps them to understand their customer needs. According to the case, customer became more selective and continuous low prices were putting pressures onto their profits. So by using the information, they identified a preferred product, services and store formats. Then they expand into non-food items, online retailing, and convenience store to help them better meet their customer expectations. Secondly, they gather the information to respond better to their competitors. Tesco faced a strong competition from a low-cost retailers such as Aldi and Lidl. They analyze the information, then they introduce a cost-cutting measures, reduce the prices, and implement a new strategies to regain their market share. And lastly, they use the information to improve their performance and efficiency. They identified weak performing stores, improve their internal processes, and reduce the operational costs. So this enable them to plan more effectively and focus on area that need an improvement. So in conclusion, by gathering information, it helps Tesco to win their markets as it helps them to understand the customer needs, respond better to their competitors, and improve their performance and efficiency.
Question 618. How do you describe Tesco's renewal strategy? Would you change anything about it? Tesco's renewal strategy can be described as a turnaround strategy, which was adopted after the company reported a £6.4 billion loss in 2014. This loss showed that Tesco was experiencing a serious decline in performance and needed immediate corrective action. The main objective of Tesco's renewal strategy was to reverse declining performance and restore profitability. To achieve this, Tesco focused strongly on cost reduction. This includes significant layoffs and tighter control over operating expenses to improve efficiency and reduce financial pressure. In addition, Tesco sold or shut down underperforming businesses, both locally and internationally. These actions help eliminate unprofitable operations and allow management to concentrate resources on areas that deliver better returns. At the same time, Tesco refocused its strategy on the UK grocery business, which represents its core market and strongest competitive position. Tesco also responded to increasing competition from low-cost retailers such as Aldi and Lidl. To remain competitive, the company improved customer service in its stores and reviewed its pricing strategy to offer better values to customers. As a result of this combined action, Tesco was able to stabilize its operation, rebuild customer confidence, and return to profitability, reporting stronger growth and improved financial performance. Overall, Tesco's renewal strategy was effective and appropriate for the challenges the company was facing. However, I would suggest some refinements to strengthen long-term performance rather than changing the strategy completely. First, although cost-cutting was necessary, Tesco should maintain a better balance between cost savings and employee morale. Employees play an important role in delivering customer service, and maintaining motivation and engagement can help protect service quality. Second, Tesco could further enhance its use of digital tools and customers' data to strengthen customer loyalty and provide more personalized shopping experience. This will help Tesco build stronger relationships with customers beyond price competition. Third, Tesco should be more cautious with future expansion, focusing only on markets where there is a strong strategic fit. This would reduce the risk of repeating mistakes from over-ambitious expansion. Finally, instead of competing mainly on price, Tesco should increase long-term differentiation through quality and sustainability, which can create a more sustainable competitive advantage.